And this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but instead of writing your plan of how to succeed, with the steps of how to succeed, with your dates and times and your non-negotiables and all that stuff, like you see all these influencers and all these coaches tell you is the best way to do it, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to write a plan of how to fail. I want you to write a plan of how to fail. I've been starting off with some videos trying to give you guys some tips, some habits to be able to, start putting things into plan for you to be able to accomplish not only your health and fitness goals, but also to be able to apply it to other factors of your life, because the same basic principles of discipline, consistency, congruent alignment, structuring, stress management, time management, all of these put together, you can put into any other of the boxes in your life and you'll be able to reach some pretty high successes, depending on the level of where you want to reach. Some people want to go from a 2 to a 6, and some people want to go from a 3 to a 10, and they want to go all the way out. That's something you have to be able to consciously, with yourself or the people that are around you, make a decision along your journey how far you want to reach, because everybody's idea and levels of success is different, and each to their own. So along this journey, and just in general in life, people always ask me, because of the obstacles that I've been through, because of the adversities that I've faced, and I'll get the questions: how do you burn fat? How do you achieve a nice body? How do you keep staying in shape year after year, decade after decade? How can you guys have a couple of really nice houses in some nice places? How can you guys have nice cars? How can you deal with toxicity? How can you deal with stress? Whatever the question is, it's always how to do something and how they are going to be able to accomplish something that they see as such a large feat. And in the beginning, since some of you are watching this, or later on in time, I'm going to send people back to this video, I want to make it very, very important that you understand that along with knowing what you should do to be able to achieve a certain goal or to get to a certain success, that you keep in mind, and I mean in the front of your mind, that it is just important so that you save time, you save stress, you save money, you save emotional disturbance, to understand that you need to also know as equal of what you need to do, what you need to stop to do. Now, I've told this story a million times over the last 12, 13, 14 years as I've been on social media, on various platforms, explaining this story, and in my consultations and my one-to-one coaching. My mother told me 20-some years ago, you're never gonna know exactly what you wanna be. You can strive for things, but in that journey, from what she knew from experience in life, you're gonna change, okay? There's gonna be different goals, different things that you see as success as that journey goes on and as you mature. But she said to me one very, very smart thing that I always kept in mind. Took me a couple of decades to figure it out, but she was right. And what she said to me is, you'll always know what you don't want to be, what you don't want to become, what you don't want to be seen as. So you might not be sure exactly where you want to go, but at least you'll know that you don't want to be seen as this, or viewed as this, or living like them, or going through what this person's going through, if you can avoid it, okay? So when you're starting your plan and you're setting your tasks for your goals, okay, what you need to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, emotionally, physically, financially, socially, whatever the case may be, I find it very, very effective with my one-to-one coaching with my clients to be able to reverse engineer, because human beings, genetically coded from the beginning of mankind, the species that we are more adaptable to be able to see what's wrong with something rather than seeing the overall picture of the benefits of something. And we're talking about like 100,000 years ago, the human that existed, that was us, would be able to see a certain area and see the problems in living there, or trying to, keep his family, his tribe, animals, however they lived. I'm not sure. But this is genetically coded inside of us. So if you use that along with your plan of how you want to succeed, you're going to be able to try to avoid tons and tons and tons of mistakes. And this is what we call self-sabotage, all right? Now, there's two types of self-sabotage that I want to go over in this video. One of them is this one, where we consciously make the mistake of playing both sides of the fence and setting ourselves up for defeat, okay? So the self-sabotage that's conscious would be if someone's trying to lose weight, they're still packing foods that they don't have a good discipline with or weakness in their kitchen cabinets. If somebody's trying to save money, to buy a house, to invest into a business, to move from their city, from their country, but they're still spending on things that they don't need, on online shopping or going to the mall to kill time instead of going to a park, and they're spending 2 days in the mall just buying ridiculous things that they don't need. So the intent is there, but they're self-sabotaging themselves and staying back. If somebody's trying to better their life and get a better mindset, they're going through a phase where they recognize that they deserve better or they want to experience more in life, but they don't want to be alone. They're going to go hang out with the same people that gossip, that are negative, that drink, that party, that are time wasters, naysayers, negative, because they feel comfortable there. Because maybe they feel like they're a little bit better than them, because at least they're thinking something different. But because you're in that circle, you know, the 5 people that are closest around you, you're going to tend to have most of the habits and lifestyle that those people have. So these are the things that I mean by consciously self-sabotaging yourself. You have to be very, very, very in tune with your environment to not set yourself up. You know, there's a thing that they say in the program for Gamblers Anonymous, NA, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever it may be. It's the same premises behind it, but they say people, places, things. So if you have a goal, you want to make sure that you're not setting yourself up for failure. You're not prepping your gym bag the night before in your meals. You're not food shopping previously to your prep so that you have the right things in place, so that you're not scrolling through a delivery app and ordering junk food when you're supposed to have a meal 2 hours before, but now you're 2 hours late because you didn't do a little bit of a small prep, or you don't keep the right snacks in your house that your coach or whatever magazine, book, article, online website you're following to be able to make better nutritional decisions in your life. So this is what we call self-sabotage. That's conscious. And there's a million different scenarios for a million different goals. But the premises behind it is being very, very aware that you're still, you know, playing with the same game plan from before. Because you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that caused the problem, okay? The second part to this that's more detrimental, okay? And this is something that comes on in the later stages. This is something me as a coach, coaching for almost 2 decades now, people in various situations for various different reasons, why they come to me to be able to attain something or to be able to overcome something. Whatever their individual journey is, everybody's is special, but I see this often. And this is the 50-50 line where I lose them. And, you know, it hurts me as a coach because I end up bonding with the person. I end up being their biggest cheerleader and I want them to get very far. But they end up, some of them, by choice, and I hope afterwards, some of them did change and some of them, I don't know, we're not in contact anymore. My door's always open if they want to contact me. But this is where subconsciously, emotionally, and psychologically, people will self-sabotage themselves because they're afraid of the change, okay? So somebody trying to improve their life, improve their financial situation for themselves or for their family, improve their health, improve their aesthetics, overcome loneliness, insecurity, being unconfident, always being second place, always being overseen and being ignored. And I'll take them step by step through this journey and they'll start feeling good. They'll start achieving the things that we set into plan and everything's great. They might be making more money. They're building their website. They're, you know, with that group of people building that business. They're feeling better in their own skin. They see themselves different. They speak different. They think different. They look different. The clothes fit better. They're proud. They've got something to be, very happy about every day, to look forward to. They've got a goal now. They're stacking the wins on a daily basis, like we say, which is building that drive up, that purpose that everybody really needs in life to get you going, so that you're not just living a monotonous, confused, lost path. And they end up getting to the edge, as I call it. Okay, and this is a scary place for some people because, I'll give you an example. But I'm not going to say man or woman, so that no one out there that I've ever helped will think it's about them, because everybody has similar situations. But someone will start looking better, thinking better, feeling better, absorbing the outside world better. They're going to be very intuitive with their true sense, their sincere calling. And then they're going to realize that they've been playing it small. They've been stuck at that job because they didn't want a bigger challenge, or they thought it was the right thing to do because they had some leeway and some free time and can come home to feed their kids after school, or because they didn't have to drive far away, or they didn't have to be accountable, that no one texted them or emailed them after 4 o'clock, various situations. They realized that the circle of friends or family that's around them is actually toxic to them, that these people have been trying to hold everybody in the circle down. And they realized that there's a lot of things in life that they really wanted but dismissed because they didn't want to take that journey. They didn't want to fail. They didn't want to put that stress on people around them in their life. They didn't want to be criticized. They realized that the person in their life they're detached from. Because when you disconnect from yourself and you stop trying to grow and try to improve with yourself, that habit gets translated into your interpersonal relationships around you. So you might find that the person you've lived with for 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years is not the ideal situation for you, or is not giving you back what you need. And you've just realized this. They ponder with this for some time, some people some days, some people some weeks. And then they get to the edge where they have to make the choice to jump. They have to make the choice to jump, to get off of this place that they know, Better the devil you know than the one you don't, the saying says. And they get scared. They get scared because they don't know if they're going to lose their partner. They don't know if they're going to fail in that bigger position with the job. They don't know that if they take this journey and make it visible to the people in their circle, in their network, in their family, if they're going to be criticized, they're going to be ridiculed. Somebody that's depending on them, a kid, a family member, a friend, an intimate partner, is going to be resentful. They're going to say a year later, you tried, you wasted this time, this money, and then you ended up quitting anyway. Various reasons. This is the worst self-sabotage, because you're winning, and you're there, but you're just scared to go just a little bit further. And like that saying always says, people always post these bullshit quotes, but when you're at your hardest time is when you're closest to achieving your goal. That's when you get tested the most. And that's true sometimes. The universe, the way I see it, will listen to somebody, that sincerely wants something, and it'll give them all the resources, all the information, put everything in hand's reach for them to be able to achieve something. And then it'll equally put the same amount of obstacles and distractions in front of them for them to be able to make that true decision of how bad they really want this. And the ones that fight through, that stay consistent, that stay, headstrong with everything, are the ones that win. And unfortunately, too many people end up calling it quits because of comfort, of fear, criticism, embarrassment. They don't want to be accountable. They're afraid to become this next level person, because then they don't know, is everyone going to depend on me? Is everyone going to look at me for answers, for money, for stability, for security? And, it says something you have to ponder. But if you address these things from the beginning and you stay in tune with your journey, with the stresses on the outside, the responsibilities that you already have in your life, you're going to be able to navigate this a lot better, okay? Those massive waves in the storm that people face just become some changes in tides and a couple of storms along that. So what I want you to do, which works, with my one-to-one coaching for various different purposes, health, fitness, athletes, business entrepreneurs, people having issues with self-doubt, insecurity, interpersonal relationships, is to reverse engineer. So instead of writing your plan, and this is gonna sound fucking crazy, but instead of writing your plan of how to succeed, with the steps of how to succeed, with your dates and times and your non-negotiables and all that stuff, like you see all these influencers and all these coaches tell you is the best way to do it, I want you to do the opposite. I want you to write a plan of how to fail. I want you to write a plan of how to fail. So if you're trying to fix a relationship with your partner because you guys have become estranged or have gone through an obstacle or some sort of adversity, or if you're trying to lose body fat, if you're trying to build a business, if you're trying to get out of that situation, that city, that job that just is drowning you and you feel like you're going nowhere, make a plan step by step. Write down the steps. Start with 10, 15, maybe 20, depending on how deep you are in of understanding where you are with the situation in life, and write down all the things that would make you fail. Okay, this is gonna make your brain understand exactly what's wrong for you. And write this list sincerely. Buy more junk food and stash it in the house. Always put everything off to the next day. Keep getting high, keep getting drunk. Buy more video games, whatever it is. Write the opposite of how to be able to win. Write how to lose and think about that and read that and keep that paper close. You can do it in your notes on your phone. You can write it down on a piece of paper. I like when people write with pen because it's a contract with yourself. You can write it down on a piece of paper, take a snapshot of it, and email it to yourself. So it's secure in your emails. It won't be in your photos. You're not going to pass by it trying to show somebody your dog or your car or a picture of your holiday and have to be, explanatory about it or ashamed, but it's personal, it's for you. And keep that along your journey and look at it on a daily basis, every other day, and just see, am I really doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing wholeheartedly for myself to win? Like, you got to be your biggest cheerleader. No one is gonna fight for you as hard as you're gonna fight for you. No one's gonna root for you as hard as you're gonna root for you. No one's going to show up if you don't want to show up, okay? So unfortunately, that's how it is. People are not gonna give you your flowers and pat you on your back until you're winning. And 90% of the time, as we all know, because 90% of the people out there will give a like and leave a comment for their favorite celebrity having a kid, or opening up a new business, or dropping a CD, or a new movie on HBO, but they won't buy a hat from their friend's business because they're like, shit, this person's trying to do something better than what we're doing. And that's how the human being is this day. But that's all fixable through reverse engineering. So I'm going to give you guys an example. This is a client about 3 years back. He did everything he had to do. He's still succeeding. He's still stacking the wins. He's actually achieved more from that. But I'm just going to read off some of the stuff that came off of, his first list when he just wanted to address a couple of issues with his life in general, where he was at with his relationship, with his career, with his, the view that he had of himself sincerely behind closed doors, of how he viewed himself and what he wanted to be compared to what were the actions in his life. So this list is not in order of importance, okay? And this was his first list. I told him, give me 10 things that will make you fail at the things that you're trying to improve in your life, okay? So when he texted this to me, his first one was drink more alcohol, all right? He obviously knew that he was having too many drinks, too many times a week. That was taking him off of his focus of dealing with the things that he was trying to numb, to avoid, and also where his body had reached aesthetically. He wasn't happy with the way he looked, the way he felt, his mood, his energy, all the things that come along with that. The second one, eat more junk and stock up more snacks. So sweet tooth, travels a lot, always grab a bunch of shit, put it in his hotel room. He knew this was gonna definitely keep him from being able to get to his goal aesthetically and keep giving into his vices, not build any discipline. Watch more Netflix and sports. He loved sports. And if there weren't any sports on TV, he would just try to get into a series, whatever. I'm not a TV person, I don't know, but that was his thing, was just Netflix series. For the first good 7 weeks, I was coaching him. He'd always be telling me, did you see this? And did you see this? And did you see this? And I said, nah, man, I don't know anything. I just see some memes on Instagram. Fourth one, ignore my wife when she's really quiet or upset. So whatever the personal issues were behind closed doors, the signals were there when things needed to be addressed. The other person sharing that journey, that life, needed some attention, affection, needed to be seen, needed to be heard, whatever the case may be. He knew deep down that when she got quiet and he got fearful or just got selfish and wanted to avoid the situation, he just avoided her. And he knows the quieter she gets, he needs to be able to reach in there at some point. So that was one of his ways to fail with his partnership with his partner, his wife. Fifth one, tell my kids to create good attributes, but show them that I do the opposite. Little kid, one in university, one in the middle, all going through different stages in life, all needing different advice, all needing different examples to be set. A lot of the things that he was telling them to believe in, a lot of things that he wanted them to hold true as a virtue, core ethic, he wasn't practicing himself. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you're a parent, you know your kids won't listen to you, they're gonna emulate you. Next on the list was do what everyone else is doing, okay? New series, new bar, new shoes, DJ in town, must participate. So he always felt, because, good job, good status, has some money to play with on the side, that's what success was being able to be part of the trends, okay? If the DJ's in town, we're booking a table. If it's in another town, we'll get a hotel, we'll drive over there, we'll fly over there, whatever it is, show up, take the pictures on Instagram. If there's new clothes out that's trendy, run and buy it. If there's a new show, whatever the case may be, okay? This is where humans are playing checkers instead of playing chess. When you start playing life move for move with people around you, you don't know what your next move is. And your next move is going to be made on your next mood. And that's a very dangerous path to go down, because you're going to go any which direction anybody else will. Next on the list was make lots of promises and break them. He kept telling himself, kept telling other people that he was going to do this, stop doing this, and it became a repetitive thing. He actually lost a partnership with somebody on a side business and had an issue with one of his siblings because of big promises that he was supposed to show up on. And, when it came down to show face, he had to pull out. He had to, give them the rhyme and reason why he couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't. And they basically knew it was just an attribute of his behavior and lack of commitment, lack of accountability. Always put stuff off to tomorrow or next week or some made up date. All right. So not a new habit to me, but through the first phases of my coaching, he would always put things off to tomorrow. I need you to measure your waist. I need you to send me this biofactor from your app. I need you to get this supplement. I need you to show me how you do this movement because it's giving you some sort of pain or aggravation. This was something that he had built up for years and decades of just kind of sliding through with the minimum. And he got pretty far when it came to his economic and, career status. But on a personal level, it ended up disrupting, the successes that bring true worth to be able to share those other things with. So then eventually he started losing on both of those. 9, post more about plans of success, quotes, preparation, instead of just doing the work. All right. So before he started with me, he had this trend, with the start of COVID, to be part of that Me Too movement of the fitness and health and all that stuff. And he would show his preparation, he would show his enthusiasm of buying equipment, getting sports clothes, putting the quotes up about the food, about the fitness, about the mind, about the lifestyle and all this stuff, but never do the work. He wanted to feel like he was part of the journey, or at least participating, or at least had intention to, but not actually doing it, okay? And this was giving him the wrong sense of accomplishment. It was like a safety fallback, because it's very easy in the day and age of social media to be portraying something and make a few people or a lot of people around you believe in this. And to some people, temporarily, it's like, okay, I didn't make the money, but if I show it, at least people believe it. I can sort of play this role in a costume party. Or maybe I'm not taking these walks every morning, or not going to the gym, or not eating healthy meals, but if I post a salad every single day, people are going to actually think that I'm changing my life and I'm being better and I'm worth more, or whatever the case may be. So that's a very, very thin line. Last one he wrote was, spend more time with friends who have the same vices. Now, because of his business network, social network, there's a lot of people that aren't in his circle important to him. They're not going to be there a year later or 10 years later. They're only there as acquaintances, or because they come with that country club, let's say, for example, or come with that membership of wherever he was hanging out, or hang out at that same restaurant that only a certain amount of people at a certain status can hang out with. And a lot of them were going through the same issues that he had in the same age range, and it made him feel comfortable and took all that guilt and shame away from him from having to deal with the issues in his life. So being around these people that have the same vices made him feel like it was okay. And when he started to make the transitions and being around them, he would do good 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, and then fall back victim to self-sabotage, because he was doing what his friends were doing. Like I said before, you're gonna be a lot like the 5 closest people around you. If they're all playing instruments, it's a good chance you're gonna pick up a guitar. And if they're all playing sports and going to the gym, it's a good chance you might try some sports or some gym. And if they're all talking about money, there's a good chance you're gonna learn a good couple things about some cash, and you're gonna start thinking about money. So you gotta be very, very, very intelligent about who's around you. And if they're not good, not leveling you up, and they're anchors and they're making you sink, you might have to spend some time alone, which is good, because self-awareness and self-growth comes with you being comfortable being by yourself and understanding what your purpose is, and everybody else is on a different path. And if those people are doing the same things as you that you're trying to stop doing, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to be able to make better decisions and improve your life. And sometimes you have to make that decision between what's really worth it, your path with your people, or letting these other people know that, look, this is my boundary. We're cool, I respect you, I like you as a person, but I can't participate in this because my path is going on a different way. So that's this one client's how to fail. Now, I want you guys out there to make your own list of something that you're trying to accomplish, your goal, whatever you're trying to succeed in, an obstacle that you've been facing on and off. And instead of writing a how to achieve it, I want you to write a list very, very, very intelligently, sharp. Write down those things that you know 100% will make you fail at getting the body you want. Write down those things that you know will make you fail at building a business. Write down those things you know that'll make you fail losing that person that you're trying to fix things with or improve in your life, whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, or maybe that person doesn't even exist. Maybe you've had some bad relationships in the past. Could be the other person's fault, could be you. Takes 2 to tango, could have been both of you. But at least if you know the things that 100% will guarantee make you fail in that endeavor, you're going to be able to be more aware through that journey, step by step, of what you're doing is right and what you're doing is wrong. That's it for this one, guys. It was a long one, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to give you guys some value, help you out, or help out somebody that you know that's trying to overcome an obstacle or reach some success. Please like, comment, let me know your thoughts. And if anybody has any coaching inquiries, the link is in my bio, or send me a DM, my Instagram. Stay positive, stay productive, never let anyone or anything take away the life that you want. Take care.